We find ourselves at the Raspy Raven Roadhouse again as our group of four have had about a week or so of downtime and have met with their friend Elsicle and found out some information about some items that they have found recently. And they've all agreed to meet at the Raven for another round of food and drinks and hopefully to hear some gossip of things that may bring them more treasure or more experience in their quest to be a better adventurer. As the four meet outside of the Raven this evening, they notice this gentleman standing outside. And it appears he is passing out when we come up. There's kind of a line of people. You notice it's a pretty busy night. Seems like he's passing out maybe a ticket that evidently you have to pay to get in for this night or something. But as you four get in the line and move up there, you see this half orc dressed in this studded leather armor. And you can tell he's got more of the human look to him, really more than the orc. But he looks at you and he goes, welcome to the Raven. There's a special show tonight. The Bark and Beetle duo are here putting on a special show of poetry, storytelling, and maybe even a joke or two. But it's a one gold piece to enter the Raven tonight. And he reaches out with this large copper kettle. And as you drop your gold piece in, he hands you a brochure that describes the Bark and Beetle duo. And if you pay your way, you go in and you notice it's very crowded and you see another gentleman standing there. Let me switch him over. You will see this gentleman here standing as soon as you walk in the door. And he looks at you and he goes, "Oh, well, more people for the Raven. Come on in. It's going to be a joyful night." "Yes, it is. I am Gillian Reed, one of the night bartenders. There's what, a party of four? Party of four. Follow me. I will take you to your table." And you see him start leading you off to kind of the middle of the Raven. And he pretty much set you squat place in the middle at a smaller table where you four are gathered. He says, "Special show tonight. We had the Bark and Beetle duo. They're putting on a special storytelling, poetry, and I don't know, you may even get them to sing. Who knows what they're going to do tonight, but I got something else for you." And he reaches in a belt pouch and he pulls out these little paper tickets and he hands each one of you and he goes, "The first drink is free tonight. The first drink you order is on the Raven, but after that, you're going to have to pay double." And he starts to walk off.
What kind of
Anything you four
rules
would
are
want to
this? Bars will look at everyone and go, "What kind of rules are these?"
Well, it's the type of rule to bring us in and stick around a little bit and get us drunk.
I believe he was jesting.
Gunther raises his hand and he waves that ticket.
Yep, you wave your ticket, and one of the barmaids comes over and she goes, "First drink is free, as you've been told. What do you want?"
Yeah, I will have a pint of Hefeweizen, as usual, with a plate of apple pie.
"Oh, well, I got bad news for you, buddy. Oh, there's no apple pie tonight. Tonight's a special night. But I'll tell you what we do have. Now, I've got you drink, but there is a delicious meal tonight. And it only is 3 gold each for her. It's deep fried rabbit served over a big old plate of rice and all these vegetables along the edge of the plate. Ooh, scrumptious."
But what about the dessert?
"Oh, well, there's something even better than that apple pie. You see, Helga in the back we get these huge, huge apples from, I don't know, some halfling farmer. I don't know his name. It doesn't matter. But these huge apples, and she cores the apples out and she mixes up this cherry filling and stuffs the cherries inside the apple. And it has a crust on it and she bakes them. Oh, they're delicious.
Ah, take my money already. And then he puts down whatever the amount that she asks on the table.
Yep. And she will take your order. You all wait. You see two figures come up around kind of the back of the deal, walking up towards the stage. And you see these two figures. You see what you would know to be a half orc female, and you would notice a kind of a light skinned woman with very short bob hair. And you all would probably know that she's probably from her nationality, is she's from the desert region of the country that's way far off from here, but you just tell by her her look and appearance that she's probably that nationality. They both approach up on the stage. They both bow towards the audience, and people start clapping. And the half orc bellows out and goes, "I am Bark, Three Bark, of course. I guess you probably met my brother outside the door, passing out the tickets and taking your money. Let's hope he gives the money to the Raven, of course. But we are here, my friend Ashira. We are going to put on a show for you tonight. Tips are encouraged. Drink a few drinks where you want to throw in some more coins down here, and we'll take them, of course. But enjoy everything we have. We'll start out with poetry. We'll tell you some tales. Then we may tell you a rowdy joke at the end before we leave." And you see these two start their show.
Gunther, not behaving in a very mild manner. He starts hooting and applauding way too much. You think that he's already drunk.
Oh boy.
And speaking of that, Jan, who are you going to be playing tonight?
What's that?
Who are you going to be playing tonight as you speak about him?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be playing Gunther. Gunther is a scruffy-looking ruffian with bushy eyebrows and shifty eyes. His face is contorted in a scowl for no apparent reason, and at the corner of his mouth always hangs a toothpick with which he constantly fidgets. And as a habit, every minute or so, Gunther turns his head and spits on the ground. And that is my thief, Gunther.
As you're sitting there at the table with your companions, Daniel, we'll jump over to you if you can introduce your character and what you think about Gunther's early antics, I guess.
So I am playing Birch. She is a human monk. She's pretty young, kind of trying to see what's out there in the world. She's, kind of joined this motley crew here, and she's pretty used to Gunther's ways. She finds it very interesting, and is probably just kind of looking at him. She ordered the meal, but without the rabbit, as she is a vegetarian, and some tea. And she's interested to see what these people on stage will bring to us. As a region being so far away is really interesting to her. So she's probably never met somebody from there, and she's very curious. And that is Birch.
All right, perfect. Crystal, if you introduce your character and what your reactions are to Gunther making a loud noise at your table.
Sitting there, a rather large, ugly-looking man, actually a half-orc, but he prefers not to talk about that. He has ordered himself simply some stew and bread and, mug of beer. And, he currently is just kind of like, not too fond of Gunther and his antics. And, he'll sit and kind of enjoy the story, but, he gives a sour look towards towards Gunther every once in a while, kind of like, oh, why don't you shut up or join another table? And that is Bars, the half-orc.
All right, perfect. And we'll round out our group of four. Nikki, if you'll tell me about your character and what they think.
All right, I am playing Kalyana. She is a druid. She has spent most of her young life in the forest, but she came to the village in the Raspy Raven drawn by some unknown urge and impulse. She is very amused by Gunther and is very excited to see the show. She's never really seen a performance like this before. So she will sit with her peppermint tea and she will also order the meal. And she will be, just wait for the show to start. And she is very, very excited to see the show.
Yep, perfect. The show begins kind of low key as the smaller Ashira begins telling a story, and she's almost quiet. I mean, you can hear it, but she's very quiet, soft spoken. And then Sue Ellen jumps up in the middle of the story and she starts yelling out her parts as they bring your food out to you. And you see the crowd is just continuing to come in, people coming in after you all. But the Raven is very, very busy tonight. So definitely a good opportunity to hear some wild stories and rumors per se that may or may not come true for you all. And as the night progresses and the storytelling gets better and better, and you all get more into your drinks and your food, Jan, roll me a d6.
I roll 5.
A 5, okay. I will send you a rumor here then. All right, you should have a PDF here shortly to look at. But yeah, the night progresses more and even better. Daniel, if you'll roll it for Birch for me.
Okay. I got a 1.
All right, I will send it to you on Facebook because there's not an option here
Oh, okay, so
for you. So
it's a picture or whatever. Okay.
you got a 1, right?
Yep.
All right, let me get it pulled out here. And all right, you should have a PDF coming to you shortly.
Okay, yep, see it.
And we'll jump over to you. Crystal's Bars is making his way around probably and hearing stuff. If you can roll me a d6.
Bars comments, seeing like a Shira, the human, being all quiet, and then Sue Ellen, the half-orc, jumping up and being all loud. He reflects upon how Gunther is sitting there hooting and hollering, and he's like trying to be quiet and not draw attention to himself. And he goes, it's almost like looking into a mirror. And he rolls a 2.
A 2, okay. And you will have a PDF coming to you here very shortly. And Caliana, if you'll finish this out.
All right. 3.
A 3, okay. Wow, nobody got the same one.
Oh, yeah.
No rerolls. and yours is on the way also. Y'all can read those and think them over and take it from there.
Yeah, Birch comes back to the table. She's a little bit, looks a little concerned. And she says, well, you know that we've heard many things here, some of which are true and some aren't, but this is very concerning to me. Seems the villages in and around Ragwood Hills have people going missing, and some think there's a witch taking them as slaves. And we can't let that be if that's the truth.
Oh no, slavery is not acceptable, ever.
Yes. Apparently they're digging in an old silver mine for some lost magical item. These witches and their magical items. She shakes her head.
Some witch taking slaves. That's almost worse than what I've heard. I've heard over in Fairwave Castle that there's an evil sorcerer terrorizing the countryside.
In what way?
They say that there's been strange odors coming out of that castle lately. And, well, some say that it might just be a large predator, but I don't know. Evil magic either way. Still, can't stand for slavery. I say we kill the witch, then we go see about this castle.
You see Gunther nodding, and then he takes a big bite out of the rabbit meat that he has on his plate, and after a little while, he wipes his hand on his shirt, and he says, "Well, there's a rumor that a pack of forest trolls we're seeing moving towards the Castle Drip Valley. They say the darn creatures need to be stopped at all costs. All costs. That will be a lot of money."
Always about the coin to you, isn't it?
Well, it's giving me good food and some nice drinks. And then he takes a, bottoms up approach. He empties his stein. It's a damn good beer.
Speaking of strange creatures, I heard that there are possible werewolves killing animals from the farms out at Jackmean Creek. Or at least some strange creature. And there used to be werewolves who lived in the nearby forest, the Tafflewind Forest. So maybe it's a new pack.
Yeah, but it sounds so dangerous without being paid.
Well, if they're only attacking the animals, that is terrible, but I think we need to prioritize the human life first.
I agree. No way am I going to allow slavery to continue on. I say we go after this witch.
And the witches have a lot of magic items that
Yes,
that's worth a lot of money.
A lot of magic items that people like you can use against others.
Against others? Nein, I use it for myself. And then he takes another bite of his meat.
It's delicious, too.
Well, I agree that slavery is probably the worst of these, and that should be stopped.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, too, as we've found in the past, sometimes these rumors are not 100% accurate. So perhaps a little more asking around before we set out on any particular journey might be at hand.
I do not believe the witch is taking the people for slavery. She is probably taking them to eat. That is the rumor that I heard when I was a child, that they eat small children.
Well, we can find out what kind of people have been going missing by asking around. Do we know, Tony? Do I know where this Ragwood Hills is? Or do I
Yeah, you would know. It's roughly about the same as everything else. It's roughly a day and a half, 2 days away. But you definitely know where they are, and you know that there's quite a bit of small villages in that area. That most of it's like a farming community around the hills with sheep, stuff like that. But yeah, you definitely know the area where it's at.
Okay. I think Birch would suggest maybe if it's a bunch of farming communities, they probably get together for like a, once a week or whatever to like, trade goods or whatever. So we should probably head up during that period to ask people if we would know when that is. I don't know if we would know or not. But
yeah, you could ask around, and somebody would tell you they usually have like a farmers market about once every week or two that they have, and most of them gather there, and people can come in, buy, sell, and trade.
Yeah. So Birch would suggest that might be our best time to go, so we can get all the people in one spot. Well, most of the people in one. But I don't know about these. What about these other locations that you guys had? Did you want to?
So is Kessel Drip Valley anywhere close to the Roadhouse?
The Kessel Drip Valley is about 2 days travel also from here.
Is it in the same direction or like?
Nope, it's going to be opposite of the Ragwood Hills. Totally opposite.
How about Freywave Castle?
You would know the Freywave Castle is actually fairly close to the Tapplewind Forest, which was mentioned a minute ago. I mean, you would know they're kind of probably a half day's, maybe less than a half day's difference between each other.
Okay, and the forest is where the wolves are at, or where the witch is at?
The wolves.
Okay.
Rumored to be a strange creature attacking animals.
All right. Where is the witch in conjunction to Freywave?
They would be not quite as opposite as where Youngsdale is, but they're not even close really either. I mean, they're kind of totally opposite way also.
Okay. Barge definitely would like to look for information more about that witch and taking slaves.
Yep.
Yeah.
His past. He's not gonna stand for that kind of stuff.
Gunther is picking his teeth after shoving the dessert into his mouth, and he takes out and looks at Bars and says, "Well, I suppose we should look into catching this witch, because she ought to be easier to slay than a pack of trolls or werewolves."
Oh, I don't know about that. Witches can be difficult, Gunther.
Well, at least she's a person.
We have the help of our druid here to help us against the witch.
Yes, and as you know, Bars, I only use my magic to help.
Bars nods.
Gunther takes out a fresh toothpick and he stands up and says, "Well, when do we leave?"
Well, I mean, do we know what we're gonna have to ask around tomorrow morning probably to find out when their day is. Because if their farmers market's not for like a week, like if we just missed it, then we might want to do something else in between. But if it's soon, then we should head that way. But I don't think we should leave tonight.
No, we have to see the show.
Right, the show, yes.
Yeah, Birch, roll me a d6.
Mm-hmm. 5.
Yeah, you talked to some people in the Raven and maybe mentioned about the farmers market up around Ragwood Hills, and they tell you that it was just 2 days ago, and the next one probably won't be till at least another week till 10 days from now.
Oh, okay. Well, then we have to decide if we want to just go up there and go farm to farm, or if we want to wait for the farmers market and do something else in between. We could hit the castle. The least likely thing that Birch would want to explore is the trolls. She feels like that's the kind of thing that an army might be better for. Not so much for adventurers. Although she's not opposed to it, but
Right, the Wizard's Tower might be. I think that was the closest one, right?
Yeah, between the creature attacking the farms, the supposed werewolves, whatever it is, and the old abandoned castle, they would be the two closest ones, probably.
Well, if there is a sorcerer, terrorizing this countryside, I'd say we put an end to that.
okay. I'm willing to head in that direction, and then we can just come back for the other one. I mean, if need be. The other thing we can do, or that I'd want to do tomorrow, I guess once it's the next day, is I'd maybe want to go around because of course I've been, especially with setting up this these gardens, I've probably been in contact with people that were doing like forestry and stuff. I'm going to see if I can maybe ask around a bit from those people if they know anything about people missing from these other farms, because they probably do business with them too. I'm guessing because it's pretty close. So,
Yeah, you were going to ask them about maybe what they know about anything of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out if like they've been doing any dealings with Ragwood Hills and if they've heard any other rumors, because I heard this rumor that people have been going missing, and it concerns me.
Yep, I will send you a message on kind of what you hear from talking to some people around the villages here the next morning or whatever, or even tonight. I mean, you could probably talk to the Ravens very full, so I'm sure some people would be familiar with,
Yeah, if I see people that I have been in contact with, that might know, I'll ask them.
What about Tony, the players, the people putting on the show? Which way did they come from? Would they have heard anything about my rumor or any of these others?
They are not familiar to you, and if you hear people talking, you'd probably hear people talking tonight about they are kind of like those two are traveling. They travel quite a bit and put on shows, and one of them mentions her brother who was outside the door, and he actually lives here locally. Thump. He works part-time as a doorman here at the Raven, but the two that are putting on the show, they just travel quite a bit.
Okay.
You should seduce the doorman to get in with the sisters.
I think she was more interested in the guy that took you to the table.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, I was. She was. Yeah.
Well, yes. However, duty calls.
In the
Right,
meanwhile,
this is kind of what you hear, Birch. Just general from people telling you that's what they've heard people say about what's going on up there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Would they know where the silver mine is, or
the people here, or the people at the hills? Yeah, the people here would tell you it's up in those hills. It was in it's just been abandoned for a long time. Supposedly they mined all the silver out of it.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Maybe Elsicle knows. Well, I want to get more of an exact location of the mine, because if we can figure out where the mine is, then can avoid talking to people. We'll just go right to the mine.
I think Gunther picked up the map of the nearby area before.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Yeah,
You did?
and
roll me a d6, Gunther.
All right. I got 3.
You get out your map. You've had quite a bit to drink and eat, of course, tonight. But you get out the map and start looking at it, and your eyes are probably going back and forth, and you're just about to get up when you look on there and you see something that actually says Ragwood Hills.
Ah, there it is. And then he points at the location and says, Birch, come over here and take a look at the map.
Oh, excellent. What's that? Oh, it's a grease stain. Okay. Yeah. we could probably just avoid if we wanted to head there right away. Let's get some more information about the sorcerer, though, so we can figure out what's more pressing. It seems like young men are being taken, so not children. So they're not being eaten, that's for sure. Well,
Well, you do that. I am determined to find a female companion for the evening. And he walks up to the bar and he starts buying drinks for, any women that he sees would actually bother talking to him.
Roll me a d20, and whatever you get, your charisma modifier, so minus it.
The 6, I believe, is -2, right? I got 13.
So 11 or 13 with the -2.
Yeah, 11.
11 total.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you talk to some. Most of them listen to you for a minute and walk off, but you finally find a local farm girl that sits there and listens to your stories. She's average.
Nice. Yeah, so he just exaggerates all those adventures that he's been having, and he says, "Well, it is good to make good to meet a new person," and he invites her to retire together for the evening.
Yeah, she will do that. Bars, you kind of talk to those people who told you that information, and this is what else they kind of tell you from what you hear more about.
Okay. Yeah, Bars will, come back. He probably goes and plays his card game with those guys in order to get some information out of them.
Oh yeah, and they are very enthralled by those elvish women on those cards.
Oh yeah. And once he gets done with his game, he'll come back and he'll tell them, well, those people who told me about the wizard, they say that it's a mad wizard that took over the castle. And they say that he's brewing up some kind of potions or something, and that he's using those to attack and rule the countryside somehow.
Somehow? They don't have any more specifics?
Are these potions do they, do people drink them and they become more powerful, or
That's all they tell you. If you ask me specifics like that, they look at you like, well, we don't know how to make potions. We don't know nothing about that, but I bet that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. When you say that, I kind of look kind of side-eyed at Gunther, and I say, sometimes drinking things can control people in a certain way.
This is very true.
True. Well, that's the rumor of it, But like I said, someone else has also said that maybe it's just an animal living in the castle, and the food it eats is rotten away, and that's what makes the weird smell. It sounds like a mixed bag, but still, it's pretty close and fairly solid lead. Besides, I don't know how well we could do against werewolves.
I just caution if it is like a odor based and it really is somebody brewing up poison. It's possible that if we were to get close enough to start inhaling whatever it is, that it might affect us as well. If they're not drink based, but instead like a cloud or kind of miasma kind of a thing.
Well, perhaps we can get some kind of covering for our faces to reduce the amount that we inhale.
But certainly I'm willing to go check that out if we don't want to go right to the hills.
Yeah, well, I think now that we know where the mine is, Birch would lean towards going there first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ours would also lean towards going there.
We know
Especially...
he's going to come he's going to follow us wherever we go.
Gunther's mind is obviously occupied at the moment, so he'll either come with us or get left behind. And not personally, I'm not too mad about the second idea.
Gunther, having such odious personal habits, it's been a very long time since he has had any company at all. So as he's going upstairs back to his room, he offers a quick prayer to the gods of drinks.
Well,
But yeah, the night y'all proceed through the night. The show is excellent. Whatever kind of tips you would want to leave for the Bark and Beetle duo, you can just you do that on your own. Make note of what it is and adjust it on your money sheet. The next morning, if there's anything you would like to do, if you're all going to meet the next morning and you decide you're probably going to go to the, since Gunther has it on his map, go to the old silver mine in Ragwood Hills.
Yes, I think that would be the plan.
All right.
yes. I don't think we need to talk to anybody. No?
No, I mean, if we know where the mines are, it'd be worth just heading down there to see whether or not these people are working there willingly or if they are, in fact, being forced to work there. I think that's really what we want to know. Yeah, so we have horses, right? So we'll just load up. Yeah.
Okay.
Off we go.
Yep, you've got the map. You can head that way. You do make it to that area following the map. You come into a kind of an open plains, open fields area, but you see the hills, but you're getting very close to what you would definitely know would be the Ragwood Hills. As you approach this area and start to kind of get close to in the hill range, everybody roll a d6 and let me know what you get.
4.
I also got a 4.
I also got a 4.
Wow.
Come on, y'all, and get a 4.
I rolled 2.
Oh.
Gunther woke up in the right spirits, evidently, since he's the only one that's going to see this. I will send you a message what you see.
Nice.
We should. Oh.
Actually, when Gunther woke up, he realized that the girl that he thought was, younger is probably about 15 years older and twice his weight.
It's all right.
It pains me to think that we should all be more like Gunther.
All right, Gunther, that's what you see way ahead of you as y'all are traveling. It definitely looks not that it should be there, you don't think?
What is that over there? And he points at the structure and he says, it seems like it's a hastily made wooden wall. It's a gatehouse of some sort.
Yep, and as Gunther points that area out to you and you all adjust your eyes and look that way, you see what appears to be like a crudely wooden wall in a gatehouse there with a wooden gate that's just been kind of hastily put up and all that. I mean, looks like it was made pretty quickly and pretty hastily and crudely. Looks like some type of fort or something behind it, maybe.
Does it appear to have any kind of guard tower that might be spying us right now?
Yeah, you can definitely tell this gatehouse is a little bit taller than the wall. You would think that the walls itself you're probably too far away to see the walls, but the gatehouse is definitely taller. You would think it probably has an outlet on it.
Are there any trees?
Y'all are far enough that if somebody was there in it, that they would just see dots too. They probably wouldn't be able to tell you what you were at this point.
Okay.
Does it look like it was made by people, or does it seem so crude that it looks like it was made by some other creatures?
You would think probably a combination of humans and humanoid with some intelligence that built this. I mean, it's just hastily put up more so than but you definitely know that there's some kind of intelligent creature that helped design it.
Yeah. So Gunter says, well, it looks mighty suspicious. I do not think it would be very wise for us to just walk up to the gate.
Well, part of what I had found out was that this potential witch might be working with the orcs as well. So could be that it's an orcish structure.
Do you want to scout out the area?
Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Is there enough forested area that we can get off the road and kind of get closer to it without being seen, or would we basically have to walk right up to it?
Yeah, I'm going to say you can probably go to the. You're traveling from the south to north, and this is north of you, of where you see this wall, and we'll call it the fort. You could go to the east and kind of enter some bushes and stuff that kind of where the hills out lie, and will give you some cover to the east of where you're going right now.
Okay, I would suggest that. Let's say let's get off the road. We'll be wary here in the bushes though to make sure we don't encounter any animals, but it might be best if we get closer.
Yeah, they're good. And
Yes, I can keep an eye out for animals. Yeah.
Gunter follows Birch.
Yep, y'all proceed to the east. You get closer, and you can tell that it's the same way. It's pretty crudely made and hastily put up. These wooden wall, and you can see. You would think in areas it's 8 or 10 feet high. There's no gatehouse, and doesn't appear to be any type of guard tower on the east side here.
Is it still in the morning or in the afternoon?
It's in the afternoon. You know it's probably about 3 hours till dark or so. We'll
Okay.
say.
Are there any shadowy parts where it's difficult to spot?
You would know that if you snuck up to it, that you would think that gatehouse is out of range of seeing in this area where you're at right now. But you also notice that some of the there's like openings between some of the wall itself where somebody could actually not walk in, but you could probably walk up there and peer into it. But of course, if somebody's on the other side sitting there, they may see you also.
Mm-hmm.
Well, go ahead.
Would you like to have the honors there, Gunther, or do you want me to do that?
Well, yeah, I will risk my limb and life for the party. And then he goes up there. He's actually creeping. And
we'll hold your horseback with us.
And he goes up next to the wall. He's trying to hide and move silently.
Move silently. I see you got a 27% chance, I believe, don't you? Move silently.
Yes, sir.
All right. You move up to the wall, thinking that you're doing very well. You walk up to one of the slats that you can look through, and I will tell you what you see from this side. Once I get down to that page here, you see a bunch of tents that are arranged. They're like in just no order. I mean, it's not. You can definitely tell this is not like a human army or something. I mean, because there's no order to them. There's just tents put up everywhere. And as you're looking and maybe trying to look at them and count them, you see different belongings sitting out of them and stuff. You see like mining tools and different things, but you also see 2 orcs. I'm sorry, not 2 orcs. Hold on, I'm going to show you a picture. That's what the rumor told you. But let me show you a picture of exactly what you're going to see walking around these tents. Let me get it switched over here.
Beholders.
Yeah.
Nope, you don't see them 2, but you do see those figures walking around, Gunther.
Have I seen them before?
Roll me a what's your roll under your intelligence or wisdom, whichever one's best you can pick.
Okay. Intelligence and wisdom are very similar to one another, but I'll do it under intelligence. And no, I rolled over it.
Yeah, I mean you heard what Birch told you. about the orcs, and orcs working, but you look at these figures and you're like, man, those are some big orcs.
Yeah.
Can we all roll under a wisdom to see if we
You're
see
not up
anything?
there, are you?
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you did, if you went up there, that's fine. I need to know so I can see if you make it up there.
How many tents did he
I
see
guess
over
I'll stay
there?
back.
You see roughly, you see probably from where you're at, you can see a good 6 to 8.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, he returns to the party and he reports. He says, "I saw these two very large, hairy orcs with pointy ears and teeth that come out from under the jaw."
Once Gunther tells all of you that, if you want to roll against your intelligence or wisdom, you can with the description he gave you. You have to add +2 to your roll.
Okay.
I'll give it a shot.
Intelligence or wisdom, you said?
Yeah,
doing
I'll let
wisdom.
you. I'll let you choose either one.
Oh, nice.
I made
Yep.
it actually under either one.
Yep, I made it under my wisdom.
Yeah, I think I made it just barely under my intelligence, and I tied my wisdom.
Yep, that's perfect. You also, you hear Gunther tell the story, and maybe it hits you all about the same time as you're thinking about the way he's describing them, and it all hits you about the same time. That with that description, those can't be orcs. It's got to be bugbears.
And then Gunther
So-
continues to explain, what I saw about 6 or 8 tents beyond the wall. I would say, if there are these creatures, we may find more than 2.
Right.
Do bugbears and orcs work together ever, or they're more like enemies, aren't they?
You would think. I'll tell you what. Roll, get your intelligence or wisdom again, and see if you know about in this area here.
Okay. Oh, nice. I rolled a 2.
You would probably know. You've heard stories from maybe some other half orcs or whatever, or maybe even orcs or whatever, but they don't really get along too well in this area. But in fact, the bugbears sometimes will enslave orcs if they can, and intimidate them.
Yeah, I remember the orc clans that used to raid around the area I lived. They would fight with bugbears. Bugbears would fight with them all the time. They used to hang their heads on picks as celebration and warning to everyone else just how amazing they were.
That seems rather gruesome. You saw no men?
I saw no men.
Would Birch? Well, I guess I'll ask you. Did you see a silver mine?
Now that you mention it, I saw a lot of tools for digging.
Oh.
It
I'm gonna
looks
tell
like
you.
the,
I'm gonna tell you
Silver
something
mines-
else, Gunther, that you saw real quick. I'll send you a message.
okay.
So I don't know if my character would know this or if in the world this is true, but typically silver mines are near water. Can I roll to see if I would know that or if that's true or not?
No, I'll give that to you. I mean, you would know, but
Yeah.
that's probably true, and it's probably maybe some people you spoke to that there's quite a natural streams in these hills that you would probably think the water source would be coming from on up in the hills somewhere,
Yeah.
or underground itself.
Yeah, I'm possibly there. She's just trying to figure out how to get into the mine. Well, it could very well be that the men are working and thus not in the camp currently.
Think the bugbears are functioning as some kind of supervisory capacity?
It could be. Bugbears are clever. nasty creatures, as far as I know.
Yeah.
They are smarter than the average bear.
Gunther, you also saw, besides that message I just sent you, you would have noticed like a small pen of like livestock, a few cattle and mules and stuff there inside, close to those tents.
Yeah, and I also remember seeing a large fire pit near the tent. It may be too for a larger group of people.
Right. Well, it may be worthwhile for us to stay hidden here until the evening and see what happens, rather than moving in recklessly now.
Can these bugbears see in the dark?
This I do not know. But,
He
Well,
looks to Caliana.
Can I make a roll to check that?
What do you?
Bars.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Bars.
Bars is going to say, well, as a half orc, I can tell you that orcs can see in the darks and bugbears fight with them. So it only makes sense that they have the same ability.
When he asks you that, Caliana, and then Bars speaks up and gives you his knowledge, you all hear aloud, "Moo, moo," like a horn being blown coming back from the gatehouse. And you see the gatehouse open, and you see these wagons start coming out. And from where you're at, you can discern enough to see that the drivers of the wagons are bugbears, but so they're loaded with different kind of crates and barrels and stuff. And then you see the road, that there's a crude made road that they're going down, and these wagons come out, and they start going away from the fort, kind of away on following this road away from the fort itself, and away from definitely away. They're going kind of west, so definitely totally away from where you all are. But you see several wagons loaded down leave out, and then you see the gates close back up.
How many bugbears are in the cart?
You notice two sitting up front, on the wagons themselves, but you notice a couple wagons have like 4 or 5 in the back of the wagons. They're not as loaded as much as probably you would think it's some kind of guard patrol with them.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of them.
And Caliana, you would know is when Bars mentioned that, it dawns on you that, yeah, these things can definitely would be able to see in the dark.
I believe Bars is right, Gunther. They will be able to see us, even in the dark.
Well, what I would say is that we still don't see, while the creatures might be vile, we don't see any sign of them doing anything wrong. I don't see any slavery happening. It just seems like they have a camp set up here. I think we need to do a little bit more reconnaissance. Perhaps to follow where they're going, or wait here until they return.
But they're monsters, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Well, they are monsters indeed, but if they are not harming the civilized communities.
He takes out a shiny gold coin and he says, "I will bet this shiny gold coin with you, Birch, that we will find enslaved people doing mining in the mine nearby."
Well, I hope that that is not the case, but if it is, we will do our best to free them. Perhaps we should locate the mine. So we don't see any kind of like water source here, right? Like near here?
No, you have not.
Yeah, so I don't think the mine is here. We should probably either follow them or maybe we can, if they're in wagons, right? Then they're probably leaving a pretty, significant trail. So we can wait a little bit and then follow the trail. That might be the safest way to do it.
Yeah, also everybody roll a D6 as you mentioned wagons. See if anybody noticed this.
3.
3.
1.
Bars, you notice those wagons? I mean, you're a big man, big, large man. You know those bugbears weigh quite a bit also. But you notice the wagons that had the crates and the barrels and stuff. You could tell by the way the wagons were pushed down that whatever's in them is very heavy. I mean, those wagons were weighted down.
Look at the tension on those wagon wheels. used to happen all the time when they would overpack the carts where I lived. A lot of weight on the support.
Well, it seems like they are taking something out of that camp and taking it elsewhere. If that is the case, then perhaps the mine is within that camp. I could take a closer look.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, or I could go with it. Maybe I should go with you.
Yeah. So Gunther is going to try to actually take a closer look instead of just peering into the mines. He's going to sneak up there and try and, look over the wall.
You're gonna do it still while it's daytime?
No, he's going to actually suggest that they wait until nighttime.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
would know. It's a little longer tonight, but sure, it'd be best to do that.
Yeah.
And
if
you're
we can-
going with them, Birch?
Yeah, I'll go with. I'm actually pretty stealthy.
What's your percentage?
Move silent for me is 42.
It's actually
Alright.
better than the thieves.
Yeah,
probably.
wow.
All right, y'all both move. You're gonna move up where we were at earlier, Gunther, kind of in that area there to look through.
Yep.
Yep, you can do that. Y'all think y'all are doing excellent, as far as you know.
Yeah.
You look in, Birch, and you see you see the little pen of livestock that was mentioned earlier, and you see the tents. And at this point, you see 7 bugbears walking around the tents. They're laughing and joking. And of course, sure neither of you speak bugbear, do you?
I do not.
They're laughing and joking, carrying on. Both of you roll me you're just kind of sitting there watching through the wall. Both of you roll a d6.
I got 3.
I got 2.
Yeah, you both noticed it about the same time, man. You Gunther, you would have known where you would have pointed out the large fire pit that's kind of at the edge of these tents, and you see all of a sudden it just roar up, like somebody's probably set it ablaze. As you can see it's a large fire pit. You hear some laughter and stuff coming from over that way, and you see the 7 bugbears, and they all start walking over that way, away from the tents.
Shall we? And Birch is going to go up over the wall. That's what we're going for. That's our plan, right?
Yep. So Gunther's going to climb up over the wall.
Yep, make y'all's climb rolls or whatever.
I mean, I have 103.
Oh, man.
So unless this is a negative, I guess I'll still roll up to 99.
Man, monks are awesome. Monks make better thieves than thieves.
They are. The monk is definitely better teaching.
Okay. Let's see. Darn. This could be problematic. Oh, whew, thank God. All right. I rolled 87, but my wall climb is actually 88. And
Nice.
I just leveled right before this game, so
Man, you almost slip and fall. That's close, Gunther.
that was close.
But yeah, y'all make it over. You see an area of tents. You can definitely tell once you start walking towards the tents that there's more tents than what you saw at first, Gunther. As you get closer to that area. You see the large fire pit, and you see a large group of bugbears that are sitting around there talking and carrying on, laughing, and seem to be eating and drinking. And you notice 2 other things. Let me pull up my deal here and read it. You see a large tent, like a much larger than these small tents that are kind of, you come in from pretty much the east to southeast wall. You see on the far northwest corner, you see this large tent. And you probably would deduce that this is probably the leader of them. You see some regalia and different things, rugs and stuff that are put up at the front of the entrance of this tent. So you probably think that's where the bugbear leader probably camps out. It's on the other side of this large fire pit. But you do notice something else. Straight up north that you could not see past these tents from outside the wall appears to be some kind of entrance going into the hillside that has been dug out.
Yeah. I think we should head towards that. Birch whispers and starts heading towards the mine.
Yeah. Yep. Gunther
Yeah.
follows.
She's just trying to keep her eye out for anything that looks like it would be, signs that they have prisoners, like any kind of, like chains or rope or anything. A guard that's watching a tent, that kind of thing.
Right.
Because she's trying to
Yeah,
figure out.
you
if
haven't
they're
seen
prisoners.
anything around these tents that would indicate, if anything, of actual humans or any type of prisoners at all.
Yeah, I think we'll just creep up just to make sure there's no humans down in the pits.
You start going that way, Gunther. You trip on something, and you hear a cracking noise, and you see two of the bugbears that are around that big campfire, turn and look. They're looking back your way. You don't know if they see you at all, Gunther, but they're looking pretty much directly in your way right now. The rest of them are laughing, carrying on.
Gunther drops down on the ground.
Yeah, which is the same.
Let's see here.
Uh,
One of them goes back to laughing and carrying on with the rest of them, and the other one goes, "Roar," and he pulls out this big long sword and starts walking in that area to where you two are hidden.
I'm gonna try to do hide in shadows. Young, what's your dexterity?
Dexterity is 14.
Oh, that's why. Okay, you don't have a bonus. I was gonna say because you get a bonus on your ability too. We go 16 dex.
Okay, I got +1, so I don't know whether if that.
No, I just looked. You don't. You need a 16 dex to get it.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's creeping, and he's gonna try to hide in shadow as well.
Yep. What's your percentage for that?
17.
What about yours, Birch?
Oh man. Okay. This is not that good, but it's better than you. Hide in shadows is 32.
All right.
It's double yours.
Yeah, this large bugbear with this big long sword is walking that way, and he's just looking around, trying to get his bearings, and he looks down at the ground and gunga gunga as he looks at y'all's footprints where you just walked across, and he starts walking back behind a tent where you both are hid, and Gunther, you're not hid well enough as he sees you. And we'll roll initiative. So it's D6 plus your dex mod.
Yeah, Gunther raises his hand and says, "Hello, guten Abend."
Oh god. I rolled 5 on the die. Do I get a bonus to my initiative? I do. So I got 6 for initiative.
6 for Birch. Okay, what about Gunther?
5 +1, so 6. Yep.
Hey.
All right, Birch, you and Gunther get to go first. This thing's moving towards Gunther for sure.
You can go first, Gunther, since it's on top of you. Actually, let me go first because I might stun it. I'm gonna try to hit it with my bare hands and try that stun attack.
All right.
I'm just looking it up. But let me roll a hit. Let me roll the attack first. Oh, okay. Hold on. 14. I'm going to use that thing you gave me. So 18. And I think I need to beat it by.
Yep, they're AC 5, just to let you know.
Okay, so that hits. Oh, I think it's going to just do it. That's 4 more than I need. I think that hits AC 1. Sorry, I'm trying to open it up quickly and I didn't get to it. I'm looking up that ability. I should probably write it down. Apologize. Monk. If a monk succeeds, 5 or more. So I need a. What are they? AC 5?
Yep, they're AC 5.
Nah, nope. So I only get it by 4 or more, so he's not stunned. But I still do damage. And that'll be a D4 plus 1. Oh, 5 points of damage then.
Ooh, okay, that's pretty good as you slam into it.
Yeah, and I guess I was hidden, right? So, so I pop up behind him and I smack him in the back, hoping that Gunther will finish him.
All right, Gunther.
Yeah, Gunther, like the picture over there, draws his bow, draws his arrows, and shoots. But with the roll of 5, he misses and hits one of the tents.
Oh boy.
Yep. The bugbear had a 5 on initiative. He is going to, you strike him from behind Birch. He swings around to see what struck him, and he roars. And then he just swings back around with that long sword, as he probably thinks Gunther is the more of a threat. Ooh, that's going to hit. I'm pretty sure. Let me look at my chart to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it will. Yep, armor class 2.
On Gunther? Yep,
Yep.
that hits.
And you will take 4 points of damage from this long sword as he cuts into you.
Oof.
And we'll be back to you, Birch, you and Gunther.
All right. Well, I don't have my weapon out, so I'm just gonna hit him again with my. I'm gonna try to anyway. That time I don't think I hit. I need a 15 to hit him. I rolled an 11, so I miss. I tried to swing at him again, and I missed with my fist.
Okay. Gunther?
Yeah, he's gonna run back and shoot again. It's close range, right?
Yep, you'd be definitely very close to him.
All right. So that is armor class 8.
Nope, you need AC 5 to hit him.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
you run back, Gunther. He is going to turn his sword back on Birch this time, man. She's closer. Oh, man, he rolled a natural 1.
Oh,
He trips on something himself there. Well, in fact, I tell you what, let me do something else. Yeah, he trips on something and drops his longsword onto the ground there.
Oh.
So we're back to you, Birch. As he's right on top of you, you and Gunther.
Can I pick it up and attack him with it, or is it like a huge sword?
It's a big longsword. I mean, you could use it if you want to,
Yeah.
but it's a pretty big one.
Yeah, monk can use any weapon, so I'll pick it up and attack him with the sword since I didn't have a weapon. 17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit him, I'm
Definitely
sure.
hits. And a longsword is a D10. I'm using a two-handed.
I think it's a two-handed. Is it D10 two-handed? Okay.
I don't know actually. Sorry, I don't use a longsword, so does anybody use a longsword?
I think it's the
I know
D8.
it's a D8 regular, but I don't know about two-handed if it actually.
Can you even use two-handed in this? Oh, you can't use it two-handed in this, so it's just a regular D8. Okay.
Yeah, Bastard Sword has that option for
All right.
2d4.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
7 plus 1, because I do plus 1 damage with any weapon. So 8 points of damage with the sword.
Oh man, you are lucky. That dropped them exactly to 0. So you tell me.
Yeah, so he swings at me and drops the sword, and I just grab it. Well, actually, since I'm an awesome martial artist, I'll say he swings at me, and I step sideways and take the sword from him, and then spin it around and sever it into his gut.
Yep, and he just falls down.
How noisy was that? Is what she thinks. She looks back at the crowd.
You look back towards the large fire, and you see the group there carry on laughing, no concern at all.
Okay.
By the way, at that moment, Gunther also loosed his arrow, and I rolled natural 20 and did 7 points of damage times 2. So
Yeah, you use the bugbears. You see the body move again. Birch as the arrow strikes it good.
Yeah, it's like dead, and the arrow hits it.
yep.
It's like, she looks at you. She's like, squints her eyes and then drags him. If she can. I mean, she's not tremendously strong, but she'll drag him off to the side as best as possible. And then she'll say quietly, "We better move quickly." And she's gonna.
Yeah, what do you want to put the bugbear body? You just gonna pull up behind the tent, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tent there, right? Well, how far away from the opening to the cavern?
You're going to be, let me look, about 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, we'll say 30 feet.
Okay, I think we could probably I motioned to Gunther to grab his legs, and we'll try to pick up. I mean, I'm at 12 strength. Would that be enough with with 2 of us to carry it, or no?
What's your strength, Gunther?
Gunther's strength is 12.
Yeah, y'all both average. I mean, you could probably drag him over there. It's going to take a little effort.
Yeah, we'll try to get him.
I mean, Gunther's gonna try to prop him up he's leaning against one of the tents after drinking a lot.
Oh yeah, Okay, we can do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
We'd rather do that. I was gonna put him inside the cave so he's not noticeable at all. But you can lean him there. That makes sense.
Yeah, you can lean him up against the back of the edge of that tent there. No problem, against the tent pole, whatever.
Okay. And then she's gonna move as quickly as possible to that cave. She wants to look in there. We might
Both of y'all roll me a d6 as you're moving to the cave entrance.
2.
4.
Birch, you see the tent flap of that larger tent that's on the kind of the north west corner, the where you would think the leader. You see the tent flap open, and you see this larger bugbear walk out wearing this very nice clothing, and he's blah, 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 starts yelling at the rest of them around the campfire, and you can see they all quieten down as he's starting to approach them, probably to talk to them.
Oh, crap.
But nobody notices you.
All right, we don't speak bugbear, so we can't hear anything. But yeah, so she looks and she like kind of half points so that Gunther knows that he came out, but then she's going to move towards the cave.
You make it to the cave entrance. When you get there, it's roughly 10, 15 foot wide, you would think at this point. Going in, you see that it's actually fairly well lit up with torches, which may or may not be unusual to you, knowing that bugbears can see in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine. I mean, I don't know enough about bugbears, but I would think they still want light. If they can see better with light than they can without it. So yeah, she's gonna try to be aware of anything that looks like it might be human signs, like any footprints that are smaller or whatever. And she'll start moving in quietly into the cave to hopefully Gunther following.
Yeah, roll me another d6 as you're kind of looking at the ground and discern footprints.
Oh, 2 again. Oh, let's choose.
One.
Yeah, you. Oh, well, both of you then. You both notice that there's definitely more of a human prints here also in the mine.
Yeah, Gunther just says shh, and then he's gonna try to listen for sound.
Yeah, you don't hear anything at the entrance there as you move in. You don't hear anything at all. You see it goes straight up north about 30 feet and then goes back towards kind of the northeast from there.
Okay.
Well, Birch will turn towards Gunther and say, I don't think we should get ourselves trapped into a cave with only the 2 of us.
Yeah.
We should either get the rest of the party or regroup.
I think it would be better to get out and get the rest of the party. And, Gunther's going to try to step out of there. He's going to stay out of the direct sight of the tent or the gathering. And is there a way, into, up the hillside where they could make their way out without actually climbing the wall?
There is not. You notice that even though this fort is crudely made, it seems like the fort walls go all the way against the hillside. And by looking at the way the slope of the hillside, you would think that if you tried to exit that way, you'd have to go way up into the hill range itself and then go back around. It would take quite some time to do that.
Yeah. Then Gunther's going to sneak up to the wall. He's going to throw the rope that he always carries over it. And, he's going to tell Birch, I will wait here if you want to go and get Kalyana and bars. I think you're muted.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, if you do that, then she'll quickly climb over the wall with her 103% chance.
Yep, you use the rope that he's got and you can go to where the other 2 are waiting.
Yeah, she'll leap down and quickly move to them and say, we have found signs of humans, but there are many bugbears in here. I think we might want to do this as quietly as possible.
All right.
So from there, I mean, because I just kind of envisioned that she didn't take all of her stuff because she was being stealthy. But now that she's going in and we might have to fight, she's going to grab her like sack that has her bow and her halberd, and then she'll kind of bring them to the rope so they can climb forward.
Yeah, you start your way back. In the meantime, Gunther.
Yep.
You hear the noise again, probably the bugbear leader, yelling and screaming, and you see, as you turn around, you see 3 bugbears standing there staring at you with their swords out.
Yeah, Gunther looks at them and raises up his hand and says, hello, guten Abend, once again. And he's going to turn around and try to climb up that wall as quickly as possible to get the heck out of there.
Roll me initiative. D6 in your initiative. D6 in your dex mod.
Oh no, I rolled 1.
Oh no.
No, that's not good. They had a 4. Okay, let's see. They all have swords. They don't have ranged weapons. So they are going to all run up towards you and try to strike you, it looks like. The first
Oh boy.
one is going to miss. The second one will hit you for 3 points of damage with a long sword, Gunther.
Ooh.
Ooh, and the third one hits you, but it's only for 1 point.
Okay. All right, he's still standing.
You're going to continue to try to climb,
Yeah, he's gonna climb up there.
and it's 88%, right?
Yes.
I'm going to give you minus 10% though, because you're going pretty fast trying to get out of there.
All right, you want to roll for me?
Yep, you made it though. You did very well. You're to the
Yep.
top of the wall now, about to go over.
And he says, Auf Wiedersehen! And he's trying to run as quickly as possible away from these guys.
Oh crap! All right. So if we see
All
him
right,
come to
yeah,
the top of the
you look up, Birch. You know, be all about ready to head that way. You look up and see Gunther moving that way in a hasty manner.
All right. I say,
No.
all right, let's get on the horses. Birch is going to grab the horses and even pull Gunther's horse, like unlash it from the tree so that it'll be faster for him. I think we're going to have to get the hell out of here.
I would get on my horse if you say that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of bugbears in there.
Yeah, y'all gonna get on your horse and head for the hills.
Yeah, we're going to. I think for right now, we're going to figure out. I'm going to, we'll ride out a bit because we're going to assume that they're going to raise an alarm. Actually, I think what Bertrand would say to the group, and I don't know if it's hard to do it because it's nighttime, but she'd like circle around and then say, I think we should follow those wagon tracks and see where the rest of them went, because we got to figure out what's going on here. We can't fight them like an army. We won't win.
Right, and we have to get out of here anyway.
Yeah.
Right, Gunther?
Gunther's is actually riding ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what Birch would try to do. If it's bright enough with the moon or whatever, and we can do it right now, she'd rather just do it now, before they start communicating to each other. And try to
Yeah,
follow this,
you can go across over there and pick up the wagon trail for sure.
Yeah, that's what she'd like to do. We should follow this for a bit and at least see what's going on over here. I didn't see a witch. We just saw bugbears, and we did see signs of humans, but we also don't really know that they're being probably slaves. They could just be running
Could just be
amok.
working for the bugbears.
Well, it seems unlikely, but we need to know for sure.
Birch, you're just saying that because you don't want to pay me 1 gold coin.
Yeah, she smiles. She says, well, that might be true. I don't want you to be right, but not because of the money.
You see him like bleeding a little bit.
Oh, your heart,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, you can actually bind your wounds, but you'd have to stop and take 10 minutes to do it.
Yeah, he doesn't bother. It's like,
No, you should probably do it, actually, because we might run into danger. So if you want to do that, actually, if you do that, if you guys stop and do that, Bertram will move up the road by herself, do quietly, and then come back, just to make sure that we're not being followed or we're not going to walk into something.
all right. Yeah, so
Yep,
he's
you get
gonna-
I
you
can
get
do
a,
light wounds if we want.
Yep, and you also binding wounds, you get a D3 back, if you do it yourself.
D3. If you want to roll it for me, Tony.
Okay. A 1, I'm sorry.
No problem.
How much are you down, Gunther?
I'm down by 7. But it's okay. He says, he looks at you and says, it's just a flesh wound.
I'm gonna touch him anyway. I'm gonna ride up next to him, but put my hand out and touch his if we're riding together, and cast Cure Light Wounds.
All right. Yep, do it for him. That's fine.
Okay. Because we might run into more trouble. 1d6 plus 1. I rolled a 6, so you get 7 hit points.
Ooh, nice. So
There
he's
you
back
go.
up to full hit points. Yeah, he says, I told you that was just a flesh wound. But
Well, even
thank
flesh
you.
wounds can go septic in these conditions, so.
Ah, thank you.
You're very welcome, Gunther.
Bert, you
And
move on ahead, and the wagon trail seems to be pretty easy to follow still. I mean, you can tell this road is probably fairly recent. Maybe it's an old road that was used a long time ago, but but it's pretty easy to follow.
Okay. She'll circle back around then and get the group. The plan I think is to try to figure out where it's going. As long as we can. I mean, if we're riding for like hours, then I think we should stop and rest. But if we find something within the first hour or so, then we'll
Yeah, you continue to follow it for a good say, about 30 minutes. And you all hear, you don't have to roll for this, you all hear it above ahead. You see you can see like torch and lantern line up ahead first, and you start hearing voices. You hear the rah, 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 and then you actually start hearing some human voices speaking.
Do they sound like they're in distress, or they're just having a conversation?
Having a conversation.
yeah, Gunther, tries to hear noise. It's one of his thief skill. On roll of 1 and 2, I guess he could hear what they're saying. Maybe.
Yep. You can't make it out. I mean, you do know, you discern it's definitely some human voices are involved in this conversation, though.
Okay.
Should we sneak up on them there?
Yeah. But I think you should go ahead.
Yeah, Brooks will do that. She'll do like before. She'll basically leave like her big like danger, like her halberd and her bow and everything, in her pack with the horse and the group, and then she'll just walk out, as quietly as possible towards the situation.
You were able to do. Oh, go ahead, Bert. I mean, Gunther.
Is there a tree nearby, like a large, tall tree?
Out in here, no, there's no trees. Out in this more flat, open grasslands, really.
I gotcha.
But yeah, you move up, Birch. You do not see him, but you see this. You see this guy standing there talking to the bugbears, and you see another bugbear that's dressed in more human clothing, like more of a merchant type deal. But he's standing there and he's speaking to the other bugbears in bugbear. But you see this guy standing there, and he's talking to some more humans who seem to be offloading the barrels and the crates from the bugbears' wagons into some more wagons that the humans probably showed up with.
Interesting. Does it look like a camp or just like a meeting?
Just a meeting place.
Okay. Huh. Very suspicious and interesting. And of course, suspicious and interesting is the thing that Bert likes the best. So she's gonna like step out of the shadows. She's just basically not wearing armor and doesn't have any weapons on her. And she steps out and makes herself seen, and she says, "Oh, travelers! I didn't expect to see anybody out here on the road so late. I am a monk traveling to find balance and inspiration in the world. I am Birch. Pleasure to meet you."
How far do you want to be away from them?
Yeah, about 30 feet or so. Far enough that like they don't notice me until I speak, kind of thing. Like I don't want to walk right up on them.
All right. Roma, I'm gonna give you a chance before they do this. Roll me a d6.
Always 3.
You are caught off guard as the human looks towards you and he goes, "Killer." You see 3 archers sent out from behind one of the wagons, and they all are going to take a shot at you.
Oh my god.
Ooh, the first one misses pretty bad. The second one, oh my God, the second one rolled 2. Let's see if Birch can make it the third one.
Let's see.
Not with an 18 on the die.
All right, I gotta save.
You'll take 2 points, Birch, from the
let me see.
arrow.
Let me see if
That's
I can
right.
dodge
You get to deflect. You get to dodge and deflect. That's right.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't do it though. Unfortunately, she tries.
Yep.
But
One of them hits you for 2 points. The other 2 go flying out in the dark.
oh, geez. Okay.
We'll just roll initiative. Oh wow. Birch, what did you get?
5 plus 1, 6 again. Uh-huh.
All right. What about you, Gunther? As you're up there.
I got 4.
And my understanding is Callie and Bars stayed further behind. Is that right?
It is. Would we have heard any of this
Oh,
though?
I'm gonna yeah, yeah.
Roll me a d6, both of y'all. I'll give you a
Okay.
chance.
2.
3.
Caliana, you hear like a more excited talking and stuff from human voices, so you definitely know that something's going on that excited him.
We better go up there and see what's going on, Bars.
Yeah, Bars quickly pulls his broadsword and begins to make his way forward.
Yep.
Yep, y'all will both go ahead and roll initiative. I'll put you in there, but it's going to take a couple rounds to get there, of course.
Okay. 4 plus
4.
5. Sorry.
5 for Callie and
You're
4
fine.
for Bars.
Yes.
All right. Birch, you and the bad guys both had a 6, so we'll let you go first, Birch.
No, how far away are the archers? Were they further than the rest of the people? Or
They were
can I-
about 40. Yeah, you'd think they were about
Okay.
40 feet. They weren't further behind this guy.
All right, that's my combat movement. So I will actually run to one of the archers and try to take him out with a punch so I can get his weapon because I don't have
All right.
any weapons. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, 20.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, whatever you want to do to just completely decimate him, you can do it.
Yeah, so she runs up to the archer who's drawing another arrow, and she steps up and just like hits him right in the chest, and you just hear like his sternum crack, and she just takes the bow out of his hand with the arrow, and then she spins around for next round to shoot an arrow.
All right.
Oh wow. I'm imagining the monk like delivering a flying sidekick.
You catch the other 2 archers in this area. You just catch them completely off guard. They both stand there looking at you in just bewilderment of what you just done. The what you would think would be the leader looks at you and he goes, "You witch! I'm gonna kill you now." And he takes off running towards you with that sword.
Oh man.
Oh no, he rolled a 19 on the die for max damage of 7.
Okay, yeah, Birch is pretty hurt now, but she's still up.
The bugbears they're kind of not the bugbear in the clothing, but the other bugbears, they seem to be just completely off guard of what's going on too. The bugbear that's in the more of the human clothing, he is trying to talk to him, and like explaining stuff to him in bugbear. A couple more of the guys that are loading wagons, they get back to their senses. They run towards you, Birch, and they have like clubs in their hands. Seem like they're going to try to club you. The first one will hit for 2 points.
Okay, still up barely.
And the second one will hit for 2.
Oh, that drops me to 0 exactly.
All right, you're at 0. They knocked you out as far as they think. Gunther, you are up next as you're close enough to see all this happen.
Oh brother. Gunther is gonna, shout. It's time for the army to come out. Loud.
Nice.
And he, if he were to use an oil, I mean, he's gonna have to take a round to light it up, right?
Oh yeah, to get it
Yeah.
out and light it up would take a whole round.
Yeah, he's gonna take out the archer that's nearby Birch. So
All right, you're gonna shoot at that archer, one of them, okay?
come on, baby. Is that armor class 10?
What'd you roll on the die?
7, but
Oh,
he
yeah,
gets
so-
what was it? Short distance, also in Thaco 19 plus his dexterity
Yeah,
bonus. So his Thaco is 17 actually when he's doing that.
You miss it then, just barely.
Yep.
Callie, you and Bars are headed that way for right now.
Okay.
Make me a note, there's round 1. Birch, you are unconscious in La La Land. The guy at the sword that struck into you first, of course, you don't hear this, but you would hear it, Gunther. You hear him yelling at some of his guys to tie her up and throw her in the wagon. The other 2 archers see you now, Gunther. They are going to shoot their bows towards you. First one will miss. Oh, the second one's going to hit for 6 points. Gunther.
I'm so glad that I took that healing.
Yes.
Thunk.
The two guys with the clubs, you would have noticed that it knocked Birch out. They're trying to tie her up with rope and stuff and put her into one of the wagons. You can tell, Gunther. Is we're back to you, Gunther, at this point.
Yeah, Gunther shoots back. He says, nobody shoots an archer like I do. And then he hits armor class 1.
Oh yeah, you hit one of the archers. You can tell me whatever you want to take them out.
Okay, I didn't roll the damage.
Oh, you don't have to. Trust me.
Okay.
I mean, you can if you want to. Go ahead, but I mean, they're kind of minions anyway, so some of
Nice.
them are.
Ooh, 7 points of damage.
Oh yeah, however you want to take him out, he's down.
Yeah, Gunther sees the trajectory of the arrow that pierced him, and he shoots, in that same direction. And it flies and embeds itself into the eye of the archer.
All right.
And he yells, bullseye.
Yep, you bullseyed that one. We are back to them. Birch is out of it, of course. The guy at the sword sees you now, Gunther, and he's going to take off running towards you. And he is going to be able to get to where you're at. You see, he's kind of wearing more of like a leather vest and leather type armor, you would think. Oh my God. He rolled a 19 on the die. You'll take 4 points of damage, Gunther. He just slices into you with that sword.
Ooh. And then you see him double over.
Are you down?
No, he's still standing.
Okay. Yep, he's sitting there right next to you. The archers seems to be trying to help the two guys at the club. They are putting Birch into a wagon. We're up to you now, Gunther, as you got this guy right on top of you.
Yeah, Gunther's gonna actually, take that hit, but he's gonna aim for the other archer, and then he's gonna shoot.
I'm going to say a -2 since this guy's right on top of you. He's trying to block you.
Okay. I hit armor class 7.
Yeah, you hit the archer. You didn't tell me how you take him out. I mean, you roll damage, of course, but you take him out.
Yeah, 5 points of damage.
Yep, he's out.
Yep. So, yeah, he just takes that sword hit, and it's a deep cut, but he manages to roll over and shoots in that direction, and it catches him in the heart.
Yeah, and something else you would notice real quickly, Gunther, you see the bugbears from the mine that come from the mine. You see they're all getting back on their wagons and making haste to get the heck out of Dodge. You see they're not getting involved either way in this. The bugbears in the robes is still trying to yell and talk to them, and explain to them. But the mine bugbears are getting the heck out of Dodge, it would seem. They're not getting involved in it at all. We're back to the bad guys. Let me see something here. Oh, man. The two guys jump into the wagon and take off with Birch in the wagon. You see that, Gunther? Two more bad guys that were working and loading stuff. You see they stopped doing that, and they appear like they're getting clubs out themselves, like clubs and daggers. They've been doing that. Callie, you run up on behind Gunther and see this guy with a sword on top of Gunther trying to take him. You see a wagon running. You see wagons of bugbears going one direction. You see another wagon with two humans going in opposite direction away from you, but you have no idea about what's in the wagon. You see some dead bodies on the ground. You see a bugbear wearing like these human robes and stuff also, but you were there now, Callie.
I don't know that Birch is in that wagon though.
No, I'm going to say there'd be no way you'd know that'd be Birch laying in the back of the wagon. You do not see Birch, but yeah, you wouldn't know she's in the wagon. I wouldn't think at this point.
All right, then I won't do that.
Well, I mean, if Gunther's still standing and if talking is a free action, he's going to say, they have the body of Birch in that wagon. Shoot the driver.
I'll let you tell her that.
Yeah, he says, shoot the driver.
Can I try something, Tony? Can I try
What you want to do?
I want to try to entangle the wagon.
With a spell?
Yes, technically it says creatures, but I don't know if you let me try it or not.
Is entangle a spell?
Yes.
Let me pull it up and read it real quick here. I
I
got
mean,
the
it's being pulled
PDF
by a
open.
horse. A horse is a creature.
Yeah, I could try to entangle the horses because I don't know if I could get them with my sling. Has an 80-foot range.
Yep, they'll be within range, just barely, but they are within range. I like this. Yeah. Yeah, you can cast that spell and do that.
Okay. So
You see all this grass and weeds and stuff come out from the area then and do that for sure.
yep, entangle like the wheels, and you know how if you're trying to push something in tall grass and the wheels get all caught up, and maybe even the horses that are pulling it around their legs as well, and try to stop that wagon. What I want.
Awesome.
Yep, you were doing that. Let's see, Gunther, I'm gonna let you go. You and Bars both had a 4, but Gunther, you're there before Bars actually arrives. So Gunther, what would you like to do?
I'm at that at the wagon. you
Oh
mean?
no, you're this guy that's on top of you.
Okay.
You're 70, 80 feet from the wagon.
Right. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna drop that arrow because it's like impossible to fight the guy wielding a sword with the arrow, and he's gonna pull out his he's gonna drop the arrow, pull out his bastard sword, and with a 2-hand try to swipe at him.
All
Try
right.
to cut him down, try to attack his legs. And that is armor class 10 with a roll of 9 with a melee weapon.
Yep. Unfortunately, you don't hit him. He dodges out of the way. Bars, you run up to the scene now and see what all is going on.
Okay, I'm gonna go after the closest person, which I guess would be the person on Gunther, right?
Yeah, the guy that's attacking Gunther would be the closest.
All right, so I'm gonna go to attack him. Nat 20, hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about. See,
Yep, so,
that's what happens when Bars gets here.
Yep, so max damage die and then roll damage again.
And I am swinging two-handed with my bastard sword. So that's 2d4. 2d4. And all right, so I rolled a 5 damage, and that's double.
Nope. Max damage. What's max damage for you?
I'm sorry. The max damage would be 8 because it's 2d4.
Yep, 8, and then you got a 5. You got any strength mods, so that's 13 so far.
Yeah, I have a +1 to strength.
So 14 damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, you strike into this guy, and he looks at you like, where the hell did you come from? But he's still standing.
Okay.
He looks pretty bad now. Let's put it that way. So we're back to him. He looks at you like Bars, where the hell he comes from. He just spits at you, and he strikes at Gunther again. He has an in for Gunther. Oh my God, he just rolled a nat 20 on Gunther.
Oh,
Oh no.
Gunther, you will take 10 damage.
He says, "Ooh!" and he falls down.
Where does that put you at?
It's gonna put me at like -6, but I'm using the thing that you gave me before the beginning of the game.
Man,
If you drop to 0 HP or less, auto go back to full HP.
oh my God.
yeah. Man, ain't you glad you rolled that natural 20 on that bone?
Ooh, crap.
Wow.
That's good.
So Gunther actually says, "Oh, you have me there!" Ooh, and he falls down to the ground. Yeah, and then he's actually faking it. All this time that he's been taking hit, he has been faking it.
Man, that is perfect. Man, I'm glad you got that. I mean, you would have still had a chance to live, but it wouldn't have been a good chance. But yeah, thank goodness you had that bone.
Nice.
Callie, you see this guy just waylay the hell out of Gunther, and Gunther falls down to the ground. The wagon is entangled. You see the two guys on the wagon. They're just, like trying to figure out what's going on with it. These other two guys have picked up daggers and clubs, and they're running towards you and Gunther and Bars.
Well, since I know Birch is on that wagon and entangle lasts a turn, I don't want him to I don't want him to get away. I'm gonna run towards the wagon. Can I do a sling stone?
Yeah,
At one
try
of
to
the
hit one
guys
of
with the
them.
wagon?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Alrighty. Ooh, 16 at armor class 3.
Oh yeah, that hits one of them.
Okay. It's not a ton of damage, but ooh, I rolled a 4, so 4 plus 1 is 5.
Whatever you do, you hit him in the right spot. He falls out of the wagon onto the ground. He's not moving.
Right in the temple.
Yep.
A turn is 10 minutes, by the way. So
Huh.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
you got 10 minutes, so you got plenty
yeah,
of
yeah.
time
I
to
mean,
entangle.
I appreciate you running the save me, but just so you know, it's not like in 5e where a turn is just one circle around. It's 10 minutes in this game.
Well, I don't want him to start slashing at the grass. You know, I would come after you. That's what she would do. Yep.
I appreciate it.
We're building a garden.
Gunther, we're up to you and Bars. And Bars, you see Gunther just take this waylay. After you waylaid that guy, he waylays Gunther.
Yeah, like Bars like tears into this guy and like does huge damage. You know, he thinks the guy's going to turn to hit him, but then he goes to hit Gunther again, and for just a second, Bars thinks, you know, that makes sense.
Wow.
and then he's gonna try and hit this guy again.
All right.
19. I rolled a 19.
Oh yeah, you hit him.
So,
just don't roll a 1 on damage, please.
let's see.
Well, his strength is 1, so.
Yeah. 5 more damage.
Yep, he had 2 left. So what do you do to the leader to take him out?
Yeah. So yeah, it's like that moment of like, oh, that makes sense, and then he just kind of looks at the guy, and the guy looks at him, and he just stabs his bastard sword like right up into his lung, and like, you know, and then pulls his sword out, and the guy, like, you know, bleeds out and falling to the ground.
Yep, he does that. Anything you want to do, Gunther, right now?
Gunther, you know, in his death throw, he's still clutching the bastard sword, but, you know, he opens one eye and sees that this guy's dropped dead. He's gonna stay there and play dead.
All right. You back to the bad guys and Birch. Of course, Birch is unconscious, knocked out. The 2 bad guys that were running towards you, Callie, you and Bars, you know, and you started running away. You know, they had like daggers and clubs. You see both of them drop their weapons and they take running off in the darkness away. They're not going to have anything of this after they see Bars take the leader out. They're running away.
Nice.
There's one bad guy left on the wagon. He sees you coming towards you, Callie, and he is going to pull out a dagger and try to throw a dagger at you.
Okay.
He rolled a natural 1 as his arm gets entangled up by some of these weeds and bushes.
Yep.
So what would you like to do to him, Callie, as you're getting closer?
I'm gonna take a sling at him if I can. Sling stone.
Yep.
And I'm going to use, well, yeah, I'll use my +4 that you gave me.
All right.
Because that would get me armor class 4.
Oh yeah, you hit him.
Okay. 3 points of damage.
He is down also as you hit him in the temple.
All right.
The only one that's still standing there puzzled and perplexed is this bugbear that's in these human robes. And you see he doesn't have any weapons that you know of. He's just standing there and he's not made any offensive movement towards anybody. All the humans are gone. All the bugbears from the mine, I mean, they hightailed it. They were long gone.
What about those guys that started running away?
Yeah, there's 2 that run away and threw their weapons there and run away. You want to chase after them?
Yes.
All right, chase after them.
Yeah, all right. Bars will chase after them.
What's your movement? Probably 30 or 40?
Dang it. I mean,
What are you wearing for
usually
armor?
no. I have branded mail.
Banded?
Yeah, banded
that's
mail.
heavy, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. They're going to be ahead of you. I mean, you're not going to catch them unless you.
All right. Well, if I can't catch them, I guess forget it.
Because they're not wearing. They're just wearing like plain clothing. They're not wearing any kind of armor that you could see.
All right. Well, forget it. Whatever. All right.
Callie, you see Birch laying prone in the wagon now as Gunther would have described, you see, and she seems to be unconscious.
Okay, I'll get in there and I'll try to wake her up. I'll put my arm under her head and try to, not slap her awake, but like, I don't have any more cure wounds, but is there a way I can get her to wake up?
Yeah, I rolled to see how long she's going to be unconscious. It's going to be a while, like 40 minutes, 4 turns. So you can tell she's breathing and still alive, but she's going to be out for a little while.
Okay. I'll yell at Bars to come. I only have a 10 strength, so I don't think I could pick her up. So, Bars! Birch is unconscious. We need to get her on a horse or something.
Yeah. While she was doing that, like after, I see those guys run off, could I have looked through the leader real quick? I mostly want to look for something like any kind of thing that would, basically let them know what was going on here. Like any kind of notes, any kind of, something like that. Like coin or whatever, he's going to ignore it. He doesn't care.
Yeah, you don't see any kind of papers or anything on him. He does have some coins if you wanted to look at them. And also roll me a D100.
Okay. 89.
89. Yeah, you find just coins on them. You don't find any kind of papers or anything like that at all.
All right, yeah. I mean, if it's like a sack of coins, I guess he'll take it, and then that's when Caliana yells at him, and he'll start making his way over there.
Yeah, and
He's
it's
not
kind of
gonna.
it's like a big belt pouch. It's pretty heavy. I mean, not super heavy, but I mean you can tell it's definitely full of coins.
Right.
Was there anything else in this wagon besides Birch's body, Tony?
In that wagon, no, there is not. There's a couple more wagons there that have some of the stuff had been transferred over right before Gunther and Birch got there. That there's some barrels and crates and stuff in some of the other wagons, but no, in this particular wagon, it's just Birch.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, and Bars is not going to check on Gunther. So yeah, Bars will walk over, and when he sees the cage and everything, like, is there a lock on the cage, or has it already been open?
There's no cage. I don't know what you're referring to.
Oh, I thought you said there was a cage. Oh, my bad.
Nope, just her body.
All right, yeah.
She's still alive. I'll say to Bar, she's still alive, but I don't have the strength to lift her by myself.
Yeah. I mean, Bars has a 15 strength. Could he lift her? I mean, she can't weigh that much, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. You can lift her out of the wagon, or let the gate down and drag her out anyway. Sure.
Yeah. So he'll like pull her up in his arms, carrying her over the threshold style.
Gunther, you still laying there?
Yeah, he's just chilling, just breathing and surveying the area.
All right.
What's the bugbear doing? Did he?
He's just standing there. I mean, he's not said anything to you in common or spoke common. He's just standing there, just probably bewildered by all of this.
Actually, Bars will say, why don't we just take the wagon? I mean, that way she can lay in the back of the wagon and everything. I'm going to guess that those bugbears aren't going to need it anymore.
Well, you would know this wagon was actually you would not know. Gunther could tell you, or you would recognize this one of the humans' wagons they come in.
They're not going to need it anymore either.
Huh.
All right. I just didn't want to leave her in the wagon, but I can. This spell will wear off, so. But did I hurt the horses? Are the horses okay?
Oh yeah, they're fine. They're spooked, of course, but I mean they're all just standing, waiting for it to end, which it will very shortly.
I look at Bars and say, I wasn't thinking straight. I was just so worried. This is a good idea. I'll go up to the horses and kind of try to calm them and, you know.
Don't you have like speak with animals or something?
I do speak with animals.
Yeah, you can use that then to calm them down and get them on your side.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you hear her talking and it sounds very strange. A weird combination of snuffles and snorts and little whinnies. You hear that, Bars, as she is telling them to trust her and we'll take good care of them.
Yeah, like Bars is back there, like maybe rummaging through the back of the caravan, like trying to find a blanket or something to like put over, Birch, and then all of a sudden he hears Caliano like,
Yep.
and he just looks at her like, "What the fuck?"
Nice. Yeah. Okay. And those guys that tried to take Birch, I'll just shove them off the wagon and get in, and I'll drive it now.
Yep, you wait about the 10 minutes as you would know, Caliana, and that spell the roots and weeds and stuff start going back into the ground, and the wagon's free, the horses are calmed down. Gunther, I guess you're still laying there. The nicely dressed bugbear is just still standing there.
Yeah, Gunther just sits straight up and says, "Hello, guten Abend," to the bugbear.
Oh, you speak to the bugbear in common?
Yeah.
He looks at you and he goes, "May I leave now?" He
Well,
says it in common.
if you could explain to us what just went on, who that man was, that would be good.
His name was Frederick. He hired me to be an interpreter for him for the bugbears out of the hills. I was supposed to just interpret so they could understand one another.
I see. So, who did Frederick work for?
I do not know. I do know. Frederick is the one that hired and paid me to interpret. I have no idea.
And what is your name?
Oh, you would not be able to pronounce my name in bugbear or common, either one. Just call me, how about call me Sam?
That is good, Sam. Do you know what you were translating? For example,
My understanding is there was an arrangement for the bugbears from the hills to mine the silver from the mine there, and this man was taking possession of the silver.
and where was it being transported to?
That information was not shared with me. As I say, all I was paid for was to come here and interpret.
What about the bugbears? Do they have people? Was that work for them?
I do not know anything about the bugbears from the hills. Besides, it's hard to try to explain to them things sometimes. You see, I was, the humans found me as a young baby, and I was raised by some, oh, should you say, I believe you use the name wizards, magic users. That is how I am delved into the language of common so good.
Well, Sam, and where would you go now? Just return home? Walk in the dark?
He looks at you, he opens this big smile to his face, and he says, "That is an excellent idea." He snaps his finger and disappears.
Gunther smiles. And he gets up and slowly walks up to Bars Caliana and the wagon where Birch is.
All right.
Gunther, I thought you were dead for sure.
Wait,
He
you mean you
shrugs.
lived? Well, that's just great.
Well, Bars, if I ever see you fall in the battle, I shall have to ignore your body.
Now, I would prefer you dead.
How is Birch?
She's unconscious, but I think she'll be okay.
Yeah, he nods and he pulls out this pouch. It looks like a water skin, but it's around his, torso. He has like banded it around it, and he takes it off and throws it on the ground. Ah, perfectly good. Fake blood ruined. I've been carrying these so that I could sneak up on our enemies. They would think that they kill me, and I get up and backstab them. It seems like it worked very well today.
Fascinating. Anyway, we're about to head back to town.
You three converse, and do whatever you're going to do there at the scene. About 30 minutes later, Bart, you start coming back to conscious, and you can roll a D3 to recover that many HP.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I got a 5, so that's 3. Yeah. So
Yep, y'all are about maybe to leave the scene. You see Birch breathing more, not as shallow as she was, and all of a sudden she wakes up to you three staying there, I guess.
Yeah. She blinks her eyes open and she says, "Oh, those people were very aggressive." And she looks around and counts and sees that all of her companions are there, and she says, "I'm guessing that you took care of it. I appreciate that. Did we free the slaves?"
We know nothing about the slaves, but I did find out that the man who we managed to slay is Frederick. And he was supposed to take the silver and deliver it to somebody.
Where's the silver now?
Oh, there's wagons here with barrels, and then this is our wagon now that we have here.
Oh, which would want to, she'll get up weekly and say, it's nighttime, right? So she'll say, perhaps we should check these barrels and then get off the road or hide. Because we're a couple days away, right? It's not like we can just go back.
Right.
Yeah, we need to camp, but I don't think we should camp right here for the open. But she's curious what's in the barrels because we should take it. No?
Birch, you're going to be the first one to inspect the barrels.
Well, she's going to say it. I think she's going to hope that they'll do it because she's pretty weak right now.
Yeah,
we'll do the barrel.
Bars will get up and he'll pop a barrel.
All right. I'm going to start with Birch since she suggested it. Birch, roll me a D6.
1.
Birch, you open the barrel that you are looking at, and you see that it is filled with some type of different shapes, odd shapes, and different things that you would definitely think that is pure silver. That is probably to be molded into bars or coins or something. You can definitely tell that your barrel is full of silver. At this point, you have no idea how much. Bars, roll me a D6.
Okay. Wrong one. D6. 6.
A 6. You do not find any silver, but you do find something interesting. Bars. You find mainly like rocks and stuff at the top, but as you're starting to pull out rocks and stuff, you get to the bottom, there's a wrapped up leather bag. And I will tell you later what all is in it. It is full of different kind of what appears to be different gems and pieces of jewelry. And Gunther, if you're going to open up one.
I got 5.
Gunther, you were lucky enough to just live in this one, man, because you don't find anything but a barrel full of rocks.
No.
No silver, no hidden anything. And what about Callie?
3.
Callie, you look around and you see the rocks and stuff, and maybe some small pieces of silver that don't amount to anything. But besides that, yours is pretty much empty too. So
Okay.
you would deduce that these bugbears were trying to pull a smooth one over probably on the humans and not give them as much silver as they thought they were getting.
Okay.
I think we should transfer the buckets that we have of valuables onto one wagon and move from where we are and camp for the night, and then move on tomorrow back to the village. I guess I don't know that if we figured this out or not. She's kind of a little confused, but she's going to suggest that they rest, but not exactly in the spot.
No, we'd need to go back and get the horses and stuff, right? So.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, Bars will definitely load up the valuables stuff onto the wagon.
Gunther's gonna load up the body of Frederick
Okay.
into the wagon. He's gonna take him to the town and turn him over to the authorities to see whether if there's a bounty on him.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Also,
you can load up Frederick and take him with you.
Nice.
I mean, even if we only want to take one of the wagons, we should take all of the horses because they have value as well. If they want to just leave horses out.
Oh yeah,
Does
we can take all the
everybody-
horses.
What's that?
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good idea. Take all the horses.
Yeah, all the draft horses, and obviously our horses as well. But the draft horses, the former wagons.
And in the ride back, Gunther would basically explain to them about the encounter with Sam, and that the bugbear was like raised by some sort of a wizard, and he says he thinks that may be the witch or the sorcerer that they're looking for.
But he
And definitely.
seems-
Yeah, definitely he's going to mention that he snapped his finger and like flashed out of existence.
seems to me like he wasn't very hostile, but it would be. We're still not sure how the bugbears are mining. If they're doing it on their own or if they are using slaves.
I don't think the humans that we fought were slaves at all. I don't know if there are slaves.
Yeah, I haven't seen any evidence of slavery.
Right.
I think
And trust me, slavers love to hoard about their slaves.
I think it warrants an investigation into the mind itself. It is odd that these bugbears would be drinking and laughing, while the oars would just simply produce themselves. Yeah.
Right. Well, maybe they were on break. I guess,
Yeah.
but I agree. We should probably investigate deeper into the mine.
And I want to win my little gold coin.
Gunther, you and Birch would know well. Yeah, you would, even before you got knocked unconscious, Birch, you would have probably saw this or observed. You two would definitely know for sure since you were inside the fort itself. You would know from how many you've seen so far, but there's a good 20 plus bugbears that were here. Probably you saw 8 to 10, I mean, so about 9 to 10 to 11 inside the fort. And there was a good 8 or 10 here with these wagons. So, there's a good 20 plus bugbears total that you've seen so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of bugbears.
We
We definitely not
wouldn't.
going to fight them. Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't go in there without an army.
Well, I think it's worth, and I don't know exactly how we would do this, but are these lands, or would we know, or would we find out, are these lands are like just open country where anybody can set up, or is
No. In fact, you would know that you would know how to contact the Baron that is over this area.
Right.
I mean,
I think that's what we should do. When we turn in the body of the bad guy, we should probably also give the location of this mining operation. It's likely illegal. And maybe that can get taken care of that way. Whether they're using slaves or not. I mean, unless the Baron's in cahoots with the bugbears, we don't know. I think that's what you find out.
Yeah, maybe we killed his right-hand guy.
Yeah, cheap labor.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what we need to figure out, or we would just report it. Because I think at this point, that's like a slightly bigger. Killing that many bugbears is not exactly what we're set up for. So, especially not right now. So yeah, I think we would just get somewhere safe and rest for the night, anyways. Then head back to
To town.
to town
Yeah.
to we'll offload this loot that we have, and then bring the body to the authorities.
Yeah,
Agreed.
so y'all want to, camp out and then head back towards the main village and stuff around the Raven and regroup from there.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Let me make me a note about something real quick.
Are we
And you
going to do
take
another?
the, I'm sorry, I was just going to let you take the bandit leader's body to.
And all the horses. Are we going to take all the wagons too, or just because I can have the horses just walk behind us?
I thought
Yeah,
that
how many
one of the
wagons?
wagons was gone.
No.
Oh, well, I
Well,
mean,
the bugbear's weapons are. There was how many wagons were there? Tony, that were human?
Yeah, all the human wagons were still there. There would be, let's see, 3 of them, I believe. Yeah, because you were in one. There was 2 others there, so 3.
Yeah, do you want us to take all the wagons? We can sell wagons, right? They're valuable.
yeah, if we could take them for value, then Bars would definitely offer to drive one.
Yeah, I mean, there's 4 of y'all, so there's be no way. I mean, y'all could definitely have enough people to drive them.
Yeah, we can just all riding horses. We can just tow behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it seems feasible, that's what we'd like to do. I think.
Yeah, they're all very friendly horses, so we'll take them.
That might be the best loot that we get. 2
Kelly.
wagons, horses.
Caliana speaks to Horse and is like, his name is Susan, and he asks you not to judge him for his life choices.
But yeah, y'all are able to get back, and I think we're going to do it this way. We've been going 2 hours. I think I'm going to call it with this one because I hate to get involved in another one and we go too long. Because I got a good way we're going to wrap this up. You'll find in my ending, but yeah, y'all make it back. Birch, what are your thoughts on as you make it back and get all this done? What are your thoughts on this mission and having a week of rest after what you went through?
Yeah, so Birch's, luckily, maybe at first when she first woke up, she had some thoughts and she was thinking, wow, I guess you really just can't trust people, if somebody to just attack her out of the blue without even any kind of an offering of, surrender or anything like that. So she had that little kind of bad taste in her mouth. But as they're kind of riding back the next day, she's looking around. She's probably not running one of the wagons because she's hurt, so she's on her horse, maybe slightly ahead of the party. And she looks across the open plains and she sees the flowers opening up to the morning sun. And she thinks, you know what, though? All in all, it's a good place. It's a good life. And even if there are some terrible people, that's the balance.
All right, perfect. Bars, how's it end when you get back and wrap everything up and have some downtime?
Yeah, Bars, goes back. He will go to basically take care of his mushroom garden, pulling out the ones that are dead. And he thinks, he thinks he should go and try and find himself like a book or something and try and figure out why his mushrooms haven't taken better. And yeah, that will be his downtime. He will be taking care of his mushroom garden.
All right. Yep. And you start seeing a bunch more of them grow then. That's right. Gunther, what about your ending downtime?
Yeah, Gunter, seeing that his little experiment has gone successfully, he employs more water skin and fills them with sheep's blood to use as a decoy, for the future if he were to try to sneak attack or feint death or so. He's going to be using that. So he ends up stitching together a pouch that would go around his body that he could, employ upon, at will.
Yep. Sounds good to me. And what about Caliana?
Caliana normally would go back to the forest for some downtime, but she's pretty excited and happy that that is the biggest thing she's ever entangled was that wagon. Normally she used that spell just on, animals. And so she is going to try to find herself Gillian Mead and maybe celebrate a little bit for the next few nights. She
Yep.
thought he was pretty cute. So that's her.
He is a charming person for sure. But yeah, you're able to find him back at the Raven the next night or two. Wow, let me see if I can wrap all this up. If I miss something, we can always do it after game. You take the bandit leader's body back, start with him. He actually had a wanted poster out for him that for 250 gold, wanted dead or alive. So
Woo!
your group has paid 250 gold for the bandit leader.
Nice.
He was wanted for like robbery, all kind of stuff, robberies, thefts, anything you can think of, really. You contact the Baron of the area. He sends his army out to the fort at the silver mine. They have a battle with the bugbears. The bugbears finally give in and give up. He takes the fort back over, and there were actually some humans inside on deeper into the mine that they were keeping in cages in there. And there was a bugbear gatekeeper watching over them. They were being used to mine some silver that they had found in there. So there was silver in there. The Baron actually is going to offer y'all a percentage of the ongoing silver production from the mine for y'all leading to finding this and rescuing the villagers. So y'all will get a percentage from silver production from the mine in the future. We go back to the bugbear and the nice clothing as he cast the spell invisibility and left the area safely. We see him walk into a room, very fancy room with artwork and all nice decorated room. And you see an old man turn and look at him and go, "Well, Sam, how did it go?" And the bugbear looks at him and says back in common, he goes, "Stupid humans, they always want to fight about everything." And that ends the session 5 of the Raspy Raven Roadhouse.